This is WVUA 23 News at 10.
We're glad to be with you tonight. I'm Tori Stinser. It'll feel more like January than October across Alabama for the next 2 days. High temperatures only made it into the 50s across most of Alabama today. Right off the top is weather. Chief Meteorologist Anna Duvall is here. Anna, it's been a long time since it's been so cold outside.
Yes, Tori, it's really cold these past few days. We're looking at really clear skies, though, across Alabama. If we look at our temperatures in the southern region of the United States, we're looking at like 62 in Tuscaloosa, 58 up in Nashville, 70 down in Orlando, though. Our local temperatures here, 62 in Tuscaloosa, 58 in Coleman, 60 in Alexander City. At our satellite radars, we're looking at Atlanta, Alabama, and Mississippi, and it's such beautiful skies outside right now. If you look at tonight's lows, we're going to be below freezing for most of Alabama, 31 in Tuscaloosa. We're going to hit 29 in Coleman. So definitely if you go outside, make sure you bring your jacket. We'll have more on the weather coming up.
Tonight, the Tuscaloosa City Schools Board announced a $1 million grant they received for school safety. Known as Project Safe, the money from the grant will be distributed over the next 3 years. According to Superintendent Mike Daria, the board applied for the grant years ago to supplement funding for safety.
That helps supplement our current safety practices and budget. Part of that is having a full-time safety director, and then a lot of training for our faculty, our staff, our students, to really assist us in making sure our schools are safe for our students and our staff.
It's not known when the board will start dispersing those funds. The University of Alabama is waiving application fees this week. It covers domestic and international undergraduate, graduate, and online prospective students. To get instructions on how to submit a free application, you must first submit your contact information on the Undergraduate Admissions Free App Week page. This offer runs through Friday. U.S. Representative Terry Sewall brought her Congress to her community tour to West Alabama today. One of her stops was at the University of Alabama. She met with UA President Dr. Stuart Bell to present a check for funding from President Biden's bipartisan infrastructure bill. The university is planning to use the funds to upgrade their Crimson Ride transit system.
Buses ordered, they'll be delivered here on campus, and next year we'll begin using those new facilities here right at the University of Alabama.
Soon after her visit to UA, the Congresswoman made her way to Stillman College to award an HBCU grant to renovate Shepherd Library. WVUA 23's Kanara Gafford tells us how the library will be turned into a civil rights museum. Stillman College was awarded $1.3 million in federal funds to renovate the Shepherd Library and its Science Center. The school was one of 5 to receive money. An attorney who worked on Governor Ivey's staff has pleaded guilty to possessing child pornography. 36-year-old Chase Espy faces a 20-year sentence in prison. A hearing is set for early next year. Espy worked as Deputy General Counsel in the governor's office before his arrest last August. He was fired at that time. Investigators say they seized Espy's cell phone after he engaged in online chats with an investigator he believed to be a 15-year-old girl. And 33-year-old Ricky Franks Jr. was charged with discharging a firearm into an occupied building. Florence police arrested him Saturday after investigators say he shot at his neighbor's house following an argument over Alabama's 52-49 loss to the Tennessee Volunteers. No one was injured. Police say Franks was also involved in an argument with his neighbor following Alabama's loss to Tennessee since 2006. He was later released on a $30,000 bond. Alabama's very own Herrick's Alex Druke received a proclamation today from Tuscaloosa Mayor Walt Maddox and the council. WVUA 23's Winter Rudolph was there. She joins us live. Winter, Alex and his family were at tonight's council meeting. How big was this for them?
Tori, they were all smiles as the city council members and Mayor Maddox honored the man of the hour. At tonight's Tuscaloosa City Council meeting, Mayor Walt Maddox honored former Ukraine prisoner of war Alex Druki for not only his contribution to the cities of Ukraine, but for honoring America as well as with his heroic efforts. Maddox says he does not want the city of Tuscaloosa to forget about the sacrifices Alex Druki has made in those days being held captive.
But the fact that he decided when he saw the war in Ukraine and saw the attack on freedom-loving people in Ukraine, that he decided to do something about it. And so to go and join the International Legion, to fight on the front lines, to be captured and then tortured, but then ultimately to find his way home, that's a real American hero.
Maddox says, as Americans, we have the value of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And Alex Druki decided that it was a must for him to convey those values in another country of freedom-loving people who are under attack and that should never be forgotten. Tori?
Also, at tonight's City Council meeting, the Council voted on the Benjamin Barnes YMCA project. District 2 City Councilwoman Raven Howard says she's excited to have a place for the youth that provides a space for recreational and productive activities. They are expected to begin construction by next spring. Taking a look ahead this week, the band Chicago is coming to Tuscaloosa Amphitheater on Friday. This is the band's 55th year of performing. They have sold more than 100 million records. They are known as one of the longest-running rock groups of all time.
I just love playing shows for people. I love preparing for it. I love all the practice that I have to do to get there. It's really what I do. And we as a group enjoy playing for audiences and always have. And we put out as much energy as we can during the course of a show every night.
Chicago is coming to the amphitheater on Friday, October 21st. The concert starts at 8 o'clock. Still ahead, a number of Dollar General stores have been fined for safety violations, including some in Alabama. And Governor Kay Ivey announced a major developing that will bring hundreds of new jobs. Those stories when we come back. Governor Kay Ivey announced plans for advanced beverage production and distribution complex in Montgomery. Mana Capital Partners plans to invest nearly $600 million towards the Beverage Park and MVB Beverage Park selected Montgomery because of the state's dedication to sustainable supply chain development. The investment is expected to have a major economic impact.
If you're willing to work hard, we want to support you all the way. And that absolutely includes helping to provide good quality jobs, just like the ones that are being created here today.
The new facility will create about 280 full-time jobs. Dollar General is facing another $1.6 million in fines after government safety inspectors found violations at 4 of the chain stores in Alabama, Florida, and Georgia. During inspections in April, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration found dirty and disorderly storage areas and materials stacked unsafely in locations in Mobile and Grove Hill, Alabama, as well as Tampa, Florida, and Dewey Rose, Georgia. Parents in a suburb outside St. Louis are outraged by news that radioactive material was found at their children's school, and they're demanding action be taken. The radioactive contamination stems from waste dating back to World War II. Jen Sullivan explains.
I'm very, very disappointed with the communication that I've received.
Outrage and concern from parents over the recent report that radioactive lead at levels more than 22 times the expected amount was found in a playground at their children's elementary school. Other radioactive materials were also found. Now the school will be closed starting Monday. Many now asking how this could impact their children's health.
I've been out as well, calling doctors, having blood work done, any of those things that I can do right now to test lead levels.
At a school board meeting Tuesday night, families with children at Jana Elementary School in Florissant, Missouri were told preschool classes would be moved and other classes will be online only.
Cool and dry across Tuscaloosa right now. We're looking at really pretty skies and the temperature is going down. We'll have more on the weather coming up. Welcome back to the news at 10. Right now we are looking at Tuscaloosa, where it is cobalt blue skies, a very nice day, 62 degrees in Tuscaloosa right now. Our Doppler radar is very clear. You can't really see anything happening in our area right now. If you look at our current temperatures, 60 in Birmingham, 57 up in Coleman. We're starting to get into those cooler fall temperatures outside. Really clear across Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia right now. But we are in a freeze warning, so keep in mind that whenever you head to bed tonight. We are looking at our forecasted lows tonight. We're going to be 29 in Jasper, 31 over in Tuscaloosa, 29 in Gadsden. Really cold weather for tonight, so make sure you have a jacket tonight. And also tomorrow when you drop off your kids at school, it'll be 31 degrees, clear but very cold. But at pickup, it'll be a little cooler, 61 degrees and sunny. Our day planner, we're looking at 31 around 6 a.m. But we'll get into 61 degrees with a 10-mile-per-hour wind around 3. Don't worry, it'll be very clear throughout the next 5 days. Very sunny, no rain is expected in our radar. We're looking at our 5-day temperatures. We'll start rising up a little bit as we get into Saturday and Sunday. Make for a good game day weather on Saturday, hitting that 79 degrees. But tonight, 31 degrees, clear skies. You might have some freeze or frost outside with some light wind. Tomorrow, 61 degrees. Look at that 10-mile-per-hour wind, so you're definitely going to need a light jacket with that. Looking at our extended forecast, Saturday and Sunday, we're starting to boost right back up into the mid-70s, upper 70s too. On Sunday, we're hitting 79. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we get back into the 80 degrees. Look at our lows start rising too. Looks like we're going to have a great week. Back to you, Tori.
NASCAR has suspended Bubba Wallace one race for intentionally crashing Kyle Larson. Molly will have the story next in sports.
Good evening, I'm Molly Harold. Alabama will host the Mississippi State Bulldogs for homecoming on Saturday night inside Bryant-Denny Stadium with kickoff set for shortly after 6 o'clock on ESPN. Alabama head coach Nick Saban says Mississippi State is solid in all 3 phases.
You know, Mississippi State's an outstanding team. I think they're 5-2. You know, Mike Leach is one of the most difficult guys offensively to try to defend relative to their offense. The quarterback, Will Rogers, does a great job with that. They're one of the leading passing teams in the country. They've got a good receiving core. I think they're running the ball more effectively this year than maybe in years past. Their defense is very aggressive.
And victories for Mississippi State over Alabama have been few and far between over the years. MSU head coach Mike Leach was asked this week if he's worried about his players looking at those red helmets with white numerals and being intimidated by the fact that Alabama is on the other sideline.
If they're sitting there looking at that and paying attention to that, they're looking at the wrong thing. They need to be looking at themselves and how well they're playing, competing with themselves and playing the best that they could play. You know, I mean, they can control the guy in their uniform. They can't control the guy in the other uniform. They got to focus on themselves.
And Alabama is in full practice this week with full pads on as Cam Latu, Terrion Arnold, and Kyrie Jackson, as well as Trayshawn Holden and Tyler Harrell, Byron Young, and Will Anderson Jr. These All-American linebackers, such as Will Anderson Jr., caused a little bit of stir on Monday with Bama fans when he indicated the team was dealing with some anxiety going into the game.
I think we probably just had a lot of anxiety. You know, we didn't have the same intensity that, you know, we had a couple of weeks ago. We most definitely needed that to carry over to this game, but just the intensity was just not where it needed to be.
The SEC Basketball Media Days, also known as Tip-Off 23, started today with the women's basketball teams. The event takes place at the Grand Bohemian Hotel in Birmingham, Alabama. Representing the Crimson Tide women's basketball was guard Brittany Davis and center Jada Rice, along with head coach Christy Curry. The men's basketball media day will take place tomorrow. Head coach Nate Oates will be joined by forward Noah Gurley and center Charles Bediako. And NASCAR announced Tuesday that it had suspended Bubba Wallace from the next Cup Series championship event after his incident with Kyle Larson in Las Vegas Sunday. After Larson's car forced Wallace's car into the wall, Wallace returned the favor by hitting the rear of Larson's car, forcing Larson's car to spin out. After the crash, Wallace got in Larson's face and pushed him several times. Wallace apologized for the incident Monday. John Hunter Nemechek will drive at Homestead Miami Speedway this weekend in place of Bubba. And that's it for sports. I'm Molly Harold. We'll see you back here.
And McDonald's is bringing back McBoo, McPumpkin, and McGoblin. Each Happy Meal order will come with a Halloween pail. White McBoo and orange McPumpkin and green McGoblin. The Halloween pails, which were introduced in 1986, will be available beginning today through October 31st. McDonald's announcement comes days after the chain released the Cactus Plant Flea Market Box, the unofficial adult Happy Meal. And Molly, how are we doing in sports this week?
Well, it's exciting. We have the homecoming game this week, Saturday at 6 o'clock, and we're supposed to be looking at some great weather on Saturday as well.
Oh yeah, this weekend's going to be really nice. It's going to be around 75 degrees on Saturday, and we're going to get into upper 80s on Monday and on Sunday. So we're definitely going to have some nice weather rolling into this homecoming weekend.
Have a good night.